Hello my dear friends, this is a PaintyKat. My name is Catherine. Today we're going to paint Seascape with a lighthouse, and I wanna let you know this is a demonstration tutorial, full real-time video where we're learning step by step in all details how to create this painting. You can find on my Patreon, so follow link in the description box, and also there you can find sketch for this tutorial. You can print it, you can use one of the tutorials how to transfer it on a good quality watercolor paper, and let's start. So we're gonna use today lots of techniques. They all fun actually, and they are not hard to try. First I'm starting with it's a spraying. I really like it because in my view, when you're including this technique just a little tiny bit, you know, not everywhere, but just here and there, it's giving a really nice effect. And most of the time I'm getting the questions how you did that, how you create that looking areas. Look at this tiny area on the right side from the light tower. See those tiny dots? It's looking like blue color spread not everywhere. Yes, this is how spraying going. And also you can check this technique on a previous tutorial with a sakura tree. There we used it much more. Here again I will use it just a tiny little bit for the beautiful stormy sky. And yes, today it's also painting with a wet in wet technique. It's a very famous, well-known technique, and actually if you're just starting with watercolor, this is technique most beginners interesting to try, because it's looking so beautiful, looking like watercolor painting by itself. And all we have to do is just to control watery on a paper, wet areas on a paper, right? Also we have to remember, when we using wet and wet, in the end, at final result, all colors will look a little bit less contrasted. And when we're painting, we have to count, we have to mix colors a little bit more dark and juicy than we want to have in the end. Also, in this tutorial, we will learn how to create real lights. No any white gouache you need here, no any white acrylics. Everything we use, it's just watercolors and napkins. So as you can see right now, I used napkins. By the way, it's not really a napkins, it's a toilet paper. And I really think this kind of paper working with water much better than just the usual napkins. So yes, use it. And I like rolls of it. It's so easy to get a new clear piece of paper, right, and work with it. Another beautiful technique we're gonna learn in this tutorial, it's dry brushing. And actually, you know what I think about it? It's wet and dry brushing. It's like a salt and a sugar in a cooking. I mean, you just can't skip any of this if you wanna create a really nice result. They are working together in one painting so well, they combining so well. Soft look of wet and wet, and detailing, a little bit sharp look of dry brushing, just looking awesome together. And this is how we painting see. About colors here, this is a short version, short video, so here we're talking just about main questions of a tutorial. About detailing instructions, welcome on a real-time video. Here we have two kinds of waves. One on the left side, it's already crashing, so you can see a lot of foam on it. So the top part of the wave gonna be in a shadow, right? It's a cast shadow from the foam to the water. Big wave on the right side have another shape, almost no foam on top. This wave rising up and crashing only on a very right part of it. So the top of the wave gonna have very nice and vibrant color with emerald on top, and the bottom part of wave gonna be in a shadow because there we can see the depth of the sea. For the foreground, yes, this is the dry brushing in the whole beauty of it. Really like it. If you never tried it before, I want to warn you, it's working perfectly on a good quality watercolor paper. About this tutorial, this is a Lan Aquarelle, and about materials, about supplies I'm using here, you can check. Link in a description box. If you will follow the link, you will find there links to the exact materials I recommend to work with. Most of the watercolor paper have not just a flat surface, it's a little bit bumpy, so if you will slide very fast on top of it with a hot dry brush, you will get this unique look. When we not filling the whole area of the paper with color, it's have just a tiny white areas. And also about dry brushing, fast, I mean your speed, how fast you're painting, it's very important. It doesn't mean we have to hurry up on a painting. No, we're still relaxing. First, we also here have wet in wet technique. Also, because we have to analyze place from where we need to start this dry brush. I mean, you know, you find the target from where you're gonna start after you going like very fast, right? It's a short move, and you're touching just very top part of the paper. This way your brush will slide on top, will skip some of the bumpy areas on a paper, and that's how we're creating those areas. It's very beautiful. It's giving this sparkly effect to the sea with no actually work from us, right? So yes, watercolor, brush and technique doing everything by itself. All we have to do just to give a little bit of shape to watercolor and brush strokes. We can correct shape of the wave just a little bit, right? We can correct tone a little bit after we created first brush stroke in a one go. And this is how your watercolor will look really lightweight. About Lighthouse, first I wanna mention about don't judge your painting until every detail completed, at least painted with a color. As soon as you still have Lighthouse here with no color in it, you actually can't see the final result really clear. Only after you put it details and colors everywhere. You have no details skipped. Only from this moment you can try to analyze, do you like the final result or not. This dry brushing always looking unique and kind of fresh for eyes, and as I know from my lessons with the beginners, most of them trying to correct dry brushing straight from the moment they creating it. I recommend don't do this, at least for couple of first paintings. and I recommend to check it after time will pass, not less than 1 hour at least. Best to check it on the next day, and from the distant, like 1 meter or so. This way you will analyze, you will understand your painting better. About Lighthouse, work here going kinda smooth. Here I left lines from the sketch very visible this time, because some of us like to see shapes and details I'm creating really well. About your own paintings, friends, if you wanna see very clear watercolor result, I'd recommend to clean sketch lines from the start. Let's say till a level only you can see it, right? If you're just a beginner, I'd really recommend to create very well visible sketch lines for at least couple of first paintings. Even if it will be visible, stay visible in the final result. In the process, it's gonna be easier for you. If you already experienced painter, of course, you can create details without any lines from the sketch, right? But if you are a beginner, if you are trying some new objects, it's really handy, so you can see all lines right now. Some of the pencil can be cleaned by the kneaded rubber or just a normal rubber in the end, but not all lines, so be careful about it. With water, some of graphite from your pencil will go into the middle layer of the paper, so it will be not removable in the end. About color of this Lighthouse, it can be very different. It's on your own taste. As for me, I'm creating 2 colors. It's a white on a top half and it's a red on a bottom half, but I saw so many colors for lighthouses. It was black and white, it was a red and a white with lots of stripes, for example. And this composition can be changed by your you can put here any lighthouse you have in your mind. I like to give to this lighthouse kind of old look, so color here. You can see I used dry napkins. I removed some of color and I will add randomly brush strokes with a red color. This way I believe it's looking older, like paint on the walls not new, and also it's giving view like ray of lights playing on the walls, so I really like it. Don't be in a hurry here, it's a last big detail, and just have patience. If you have any doubts, you can dry your painting before you will paint a lighthouse, because we don't need any wet areas around it. My beautiful and my lovely line brush, really like it, I really like to paint with it and can recommend it with all my heart. It's so helpful with any kind of paints you like to paint with, right? With oil, with gouache or acrylic, and with watercolor, of course. Look, these tiny beautiful details, and as soon as this brush have a long bristle, it's tiny but same time it's handing lots of watercolor inside. If you don't have this kind of brush with a long bristle and just have a normal number 0, number 1, you can try it also and you will see normal brush like number 0 just can't create the same long line as a line brush can. It's just designed especially for this kind of details. Be accurate here. Very detailed area, always catchy. And also here we have a nice contrast. So of course our viewer will pay attention on this area, on this detail, really will pay attention. Just very careful. Find the right place you're gonna start with and go like fast. Don't go slow. This way lines can look, too thick first and a kind of boring, because you will try to be accurate, but same time probably you will push too hard, so this way line can look thicker. I don't really like it. Try to go better fast, but first you have to find from where you want to start. Of course these moments will train, it's very depends from your hand, from how long you've been painting, and I'd say it's a question of practice. It's like going to the gym, if you will run for a long time, you will run better and better. Same here, if you will paint like every day or at least 2-3 times in a week, after first month will pass, you'll see you can control all those tiny lines better, you can control your pressure better, and this way your paintings will look even more lightweight, because paintings will look like you just had fun with watercolor on a paper, like you didn't pay much attention on the details. But this is the hardest look, I'd say, in a watercolor, when it's looking very simple, very elegant, some lines looking accurate, but some definitely not. I also creating tiny details. It's contrasted enough here. It's a windows have to be kind of tiny here because of the place, right? We have a lot of wind here, we have here waves and a bad weather and a storms, so no one will want to create lots of windows in these buildings here. Just a tiny bit, like a very gentle touch. Look, my brush is so tiny right now and still I have to be accurate. Also, I want to put some rusty effect on a tower. So I will add cadmium orange. Don't like this brush for mixing color, really. Let me get another one. This is a flat oval, and again dry brush. Almost no color on my brush. Soft touch, more orange, and look, I'm touching very light, not everywhere, just at some areas. Yes, and too much here. Too much here. See how easy actually remove tiny details. Yeah, this way I like it more. Final touch, it's birds here. It's still visible, right? On the left part of the landscape, seascape actually. And let me demonstrate to you how it's possible to use a really big brush, watercolor brush, even for tiny details. Yeah, it's very possible, because a good watercolor brush, it's all about shape. It can be big, but the top of it have to be very tiny. This way, see? Good control on a line. Just a question of pressure. How deep pressure you're giving on your brush. If you control it well, you're able to create even a tiny bird with a big brush. In the very end, I recommend to put your sign on your painting. And you know what I really like about watercolor? No matter if you're trying to follow someone painting, no matter if you're following tutorial, watercolor giving so unique a look, so unique effect in every brush stroke you're creating. So you will have your own unique looking landscape even if you follow my tutorial. In the end, I want to demonstrate how to remove part of the lines from the sketch we created. I will use kneaded rubber, and even if all lines not possible to remove completely, some of it really will look lighter. If you experienced watercolor artist, yes, just create slightly visible sketch from the start. But if you need to have well visible lines from the start, nothing wrong with it. We can always clean a little bit the sketch lines in the end. My dear friends, if you want to share to me your paintings, please follow me on a Patreon, Instagram and Facebook. Don't forget to put hashtag PaintyKat. If you still have any questions, don't be shy to ask. And of course, I'm waiting for you on a real-time tutorial. Let's create this beautiful seascape together. It was a PaintyKat. I wish you all the best. Bye bye.